Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you may be watching this video. Make sure you are the little house admin stuff as usual, smashing the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and your comments, good, bad, negative, positive, just get them in. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings. We're going to start off on the news about Ozzy Osbourne, of course, which we'll quickly touch on because I think that's important to touch on. And then we're going to talk about, of course, the title. Sorry, Miss Jackson. It's a no from me. Nicolas Jackson. Let's talk properly about this guy. Let's talk properly about this guy. Let's not try and kid ourselves, Villa fans, that we would be happy for Nicolas Jackson to come in and be our number 9 main striker if Ollie Watkins was to leave. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not do that. So let's have a bit of real talk about Nicolas Jackson. And again, early shouts, happy to put it out there. I would not be happy if Jackson came in as our number 1. However, if Jackson came in as a second striker to Ollie Watkins, then you've got my attention. So I'll put it out there. Nicolas Jackson simply cannot come to Aston Villa to be our main man. He has to come to Aston Villa to be our number 2. Simple as that. But let's talk about, I've seen a really, really good Tifo of Nicolas Jackson, of Ozzy Osbourne that I want to share with everyone. And again, really weird actually, that I didn't actually understand or know the depth of Ozzy Osbourne's condition. Obviously, I knew he was doing all these tours, and obviously I knew that it was his dream to play at Villa Park, which, by the way, he got to fulfill. How incredible was that for him? That he actually got to fulfill a dream of playing at Villa Park, and he looked so happy doing so. But it obviously came as a bit of a thing because I was saying to Heidi, like, he was appearing a lot on people's sort of articles, stories on like social media, lots of clips of Ozzy doing the round, and I didn't actually realise like where he was at or how he's doing. So yeah, that was a little bit sad state to his feet. But how about this? Have a look at this clip of Ozzy Osbourne, people. This Tifo has to appear this season. I think you guys would agree with this as well. I think you guys 100% know that this Tifo has to appear. But let's first of all break the news that came in here on Ozzy Osbourne, as I show you now, and loving all the positive comments. And I am going to come to some of your comments as well in a second. Let me just get the clips all lined up and sorted for you. But yeah, here it is. Aston Villa obviously sort of break the news themselves here. And officially, Aston Villa Football Club is saddened to learn that the world-renowned rock star and villain Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. Growing up in Aston, not far from Villa Park, Ozzy always held a special connection to the club and the community he came from. The thoughts of everyone at Aston Villa, his wife Sharon, his family, friends, and countless fans at this extremely difficult time. And look how happy he was there because he got to live a dream. He got to live a dream of performing at Villa Park. And I think that, again, you look at the face of Ozzy there. You can't help but see a man who feels like he fulfilled a life goal, a life dream. Like, that's a really nice picture of Ozzy. And I think that's something, if you look back at Ozzy there, you can see it in his face. And he came up on that go-to throne. Look at him there, happy, content, got to do. And I really didn't realise that Ozzy Osbourne actually grew up in Aston. I didn't know he was an Aston. I really didn't know. I knew he was a Brummie boy, but I didn't actually realise he was from Aston. So incredible. But I am going to come to your comments, people, as I said. I'm just doing this little tribute to Ozzy here. But this, for me, the Tifo, is absolutely this one. This one. This is a great tribute to Ozzy, and this one needs to appear again at Villa Park. Ideally, first game against Newcastle. Would you guys agree? First home game of the season against Newcastle. Let's get either this Tifo or another one. I think this is a great image. Everything that sort of represents Villa. A rock legend. You see the claret and blue tinted glasses. You've got the lions there. It's a statue of Paris over Villa Park here. The trains. It just is brilliant. And obviously, claret and blue, Villa till I die. Every week you follow that thing. That's got to be at Villa Park, first game of the season. It's got to be opening fixture. Yeah, must be back. If not that one, give me an upgrade. Give me. Do you know actually what? I think the Tifo. I think the Tifo should be the one of him in the chair. So change that picture and the image that I've just shown you of him in the chairs come at Villa Park. I believe that should be the Tifo. I believe that should be the one. That image on there. So there we go. But big up to everyone who's in the chat. Seeing all the rest in peace Aussie comments. Obviously, we're going to talk about the footballing side of Nicolas Jackson in a minute, and something that I do want to get into. But big up to Comrade John, who's become a member. As always, he's one of our own. He's one of our own. Comrade John, he's one of our own. Welcome in again. Welcome in to the Members Club, and good to have you in here. But yeah, absolutely. Another hot ender in the sky. And we're going to have a good discussion. Big up to, I've just seen Lee's comment as well. I thought it'd been a tough few days for you, Lee, because you'd been noticeably quiet, and in my head I thought something was up with Lee. Kind of shitty weekend. My friend passed away Friday, heart attack, and now Ozzy been bad. Lee, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I hope it hasn't impacted you too hard, but of course it's great to hear you. And if this is a place where you can feel a bit more comfort and talking, then absolutely do so, Lee. So big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Because do you know what, Lee? You know, someone who's a very big supporter of this channel. I noticed you weren't in on the watch along the other night, whenever it was. I can't even think when we played. So something in my head actually suggested to me that something Saturday. I had a feeling, Lee. I had a feeling. Big up to Gav's highlight as well. He's been a member for 16 months. Absolutely solid, Gav. And big up to all the comments. And yeah, as I said, Ozzy Osbourne, absolute legend. Conrad Joan, there he is. Yeah, Sharon. Great combo, those two, weren't they? But yeah, someone just said Jeff Lynn looks terrible as well. He had to pull out of the last ELO concert. He supports the wrong team though. Nah, yeah. You know, at least Ozzy, he had a good taste in football, didn't he? But Conrad said, don't welcome me to hear my opinions. Well, hey, any opinion counts. Do you know what I mean? Any opinion counts. But yeah, big up to each and every single one of you. Let's run up the likes as well today. And let's get into the crux then of Nicolas Jackson. Again, I'll be really upfront and brutal and honest about this one. Nicolas Jackson simply cannot come to Aston Villa to lead the attack. He simply cannot be an Ollie Watkins replacement. If we sign Nicolas Jackson in a position of coming to add bolster to Aston Villa's attack, then I'm all ears. But if you are telling me that the plan is that Ollie still goes and there's still this tune ticking around that Ollie Watkins and Manchester United is going to be a thing, then I do worry about that. Again, Jackson for me is a downgrade to what Ollie already brings to Aston Villa. And I said that if we are selling, if we are moving people on, if we are doing that, make sure we're upgrading in those positions. So here are the revised rumours as asked. We know that Manchester United and Chelsea have been looking at this Nicolas Jackson situation. And it's changed. It's this whole idea and concept that the media are pushing about this thing here. I'm going to show you this one. It's the idea is special relationship. It's this. Unai Emery still has a special relationship with Nicolas Jackson from their time together at Villarreal, whatever that means. He is a big fan of the forward's ability to link up play, and Aston Villa have asked to be informed if the player becomes available. Now, I'm going to show you the source again in a minute, because this news report, if you want to call it that, is a little bit, doesn't make sense to me. So, journalist, co-host of Made in Africa podcast, 442 and The Sun Football. Okay. As far as I'm aware, Nicolas Jackson is available. Nicolas Jackson has been made available. But this idea of special relationship, what? Unai Emery still keeps in contact with him? Unai Emery still has links with him? What is it? Now, obviously, it's coming from the African correspondent because of Jackson being Senegalese. But I'm pretty sure that Jackson, correct me if I'm wrong, has been told that he is available. And Maresca has had enough because, do you know what? He's got in João Pedro and he's got in Delap. There's no way they need Jackson anymore. So that idea of him becoming available, he 100% is. He's 100% available. And as it said, he's certainly not worth the money quoted. He ain't coming as Chelsea won't get what they want for him. I think though Chelsea will be that desperate to get rid of Nicolas Jackson that they'll be listening to offers. And I think that personally, this whole idea of Unai Emery used to coach him at Villarreal is something that I can't quite get my head around. I think it's lazy journalism. I think it's forcing a link to say that. So, however, The Athletic have done a really good piece on Nicolas Jackson here, if you want to know a bit more about him, which I'm going to share with you now. Let's see what some of you are saying. Hopefully Ollie comes up, says Mustafa's a United fan. We'll say hello to Jackson because he's worse. I can't. I told you ages ago that Jackson would be a likely replacement of Watkins goes. Exactly, because Unai's fished for him before, didn't get him. He ended up with Chelsea. It's easy to go back there. And Watkins 100% better than Jackson. Who's the player we signed today? Peach and Talksport said we'll loan him out. Oh, a young guy, Cisse, he's called. But yeah, he's going back to the Belgium club, I think. Is it true that 80 million is the price for him? That would be crazy if so. But yeah. And England are losing 1-0 at half-time, are they? The Lionesses, fair enough. Gut feeling as Emmy goes, I know as much as anyone else. Yeah, I think people have seen more Emmy going than Ollie. So there we go. And yeah, big up to Standing as well. Good to have you in the chat. I can see Jackson going fairly cheap for a strike at the end of the window. I think Jackson will basically have no option but to go. I think Chelsea are going to force him out. They're going to have to find suitors and they'll take whatever the highest bidder is come the end. But yeah, if we can get him for 20 million, then okay. That's probably the price, isn't it? And you'd rather have Vlahovic if his wages were cheaper. But yeah, big up to 1874. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. And yes, I hate that Emery used to coach him. Like, do you all want to reunite with your co-workers? Listen, Unai Emery, I don't get this special relationship either. What is this special relationship about Unai Emery and Jackson? What, are they in contact every week? Are they talking? Or is it just that Unai Emery made him quite a good player at Villarreal for a bit? But look, I love this. I'm sorry, just for real. Big up the Miss Jackson. So I'm not going to try and sing it, but I hear you. Right, have a look at this then. Have a look at this. Right, this is from The Athletic Football. Quite a good piece here. There are several clubs who are on the lookout for a striker, including Man U, Newcastle, and potentially Aston Villa. So what exactly is Jackson's skill set and what could he bring to each of the clubs linked? According to advanced data provider Photovision, Jackson was the player with the most counter-attacking involvements via ball carries in the Premier League. In that respect, Newcastle's interest adds up. They tried only Liverpool for expected goals generated through counter-attacking sequences. I don't think we're a counter-attacking side anymore. I think Villa have completely changed their style of play, that we do seem to want to dominate possession more. Sometimes it can be painful and slow, but we are a possession-based side, in my opinion. Only Watkins made more runs in behind per 30 minutes of team possession in the Premier League last season, explaining why he might be of interest to those at Villa. So Watkins and him do very much the same, but Watkins does it better. But yeah, a channel running, physically dominant centre forward is what they're basically saying. What's it saying about chances? They're also looking for box presence, a forward who can generate high-value chances close to goal, as a team with a third lowest proportion of shots inside the penalty area. That was Man U. A look to Jackson's shot map since joining Chelsea points to a player who consistently creates danger with his high XG per shot value of 0.2, only bettered by 4 Premier League players across that time, outlining his ability to get into valuable goal-scoring positions. And do you know what it says? It's basically telling you that is basically telling you that Nicolas Jackson is great at getting in positions and spaces, but he can't finish his dinner. Hey, what? Guess what? It's people's biggest gripe is about Ollie Watkins. It's probably, for me, been my biggest gripe of Ollie Watkins this season, that despite his numbers still being pretty good, Ollie doesn't help himself by missing key chances. He also scores key goals, in my opinion. He's also scored key goals, but he's missed key chances. He misses key chances, and it's that balance. Now, what we don't want is just to replicate that with Nicolas Jackson. And Chelsea have been known as the team who do create a lot of chances for their forwards. Their playmakers and their assisters could have had a lot more if Jackson would have put it in the back of the net. So he is very similar to Watkins. Very similar. But what I'm saying is, if we've already got someone who does that job for us and does it well and consistently has done the numbers in the Premier League for Aston Villa, if Jackson does the same, fine, it's a bit like for like, but we've got a worse finisher, in my opinion. We've got a much worse finisher. Oh, God, Lesson James backs out of place. That's not good. That is not good at all. But Vlahovic is a goal scorer. Vlahovic is a finisher. But the bloke's on cuckoo land if he thinks anyone's going to pay him 350k a week. Ollie been offered to Man U. I don't believe this. We should keep Ollie. He still has work to do for us. I think Ollie's still got more goals to come. And it is that. It is changing this. It is this. It's changing his big chance XG. He needs to be more... his conversion rate needs to improve with the big chances. But what Ollie still does is that he still puts the ball in the back of the net and still does many times score that important first goal for Villa. I always think when you need to dig out a 1-0 win, Watkins will be the one who pops up with it. He could also pop up and miss a big chance, but I still back Ollie to put it in. So there we go. The age thing I do agree on, though. I do agree on this. Ollie is 30 in December. We need to get rid. It's the final time, the final countdown of where Ollie Watkins could go for an inflated fee of 40, 50 million in the next 2 years. Is there any striker Watkins? Technically, yeah. Donyell Marlon, well, again, it's the whole big question. What is Donyell Marlon? Donyell Marlon could be a striker, could be a right winger, but predominantly, I don't think Villa will be looking to utilise him as such. So yeah, this is interesting. Let me give you a bit more perspective on Nicolas Jackson's shot sort of thing here. So if you can see here on the right, it says total shots. So this was Jackson last season. His average distance shooting 12.3 yards, but he had 156 shots last season. 98 with his right foot, 34 with his left, 24 with his head. That can't be just last season. That must be all non-penalty shots since 2023. So this is 2 seasons worth. In 2 seasons, Jackson scored 24 goals. And his XG is actually fairly high. His XG is fairly high. His XG was 31 and he ended up on 24. So again, conversion rate rise doesn't look too good. But if you're looking at his threats, the higher the circle, the higher the quality of chance, and it became a goal. You're looking at, there is a lot of high circles that aren't goals here. There, all in these areas. But he's an 18-yard box striker, as you can see with all his goals. He's an 18-yard box striker. I'll say it again like I have been. If Jackson comes in as our number 2, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with having, and actually it's quite good, that no matter who plays up front, Villa can still play the same way. If you've got someone who plays very similar to Ollie Watkins in Nicolas Jackson, right, then brilliant. Villa don't need to change or adapt. If you go from playing with an Ollie Watkins to then let's really change. Let me give you someone else who, for example, say then our backup striker was Callum Wilson. Well, Callum Wilson can't run the channels like Ollie. Callum Wilson hasn't got the mobility of Ollie. Doesn't play with his back to goal as well as Ollie. Callum Wilson is a poacher, a fox in the box. He may not be the best example to use there. Maybe Dusan Vlahovic might have been better as well. Dusan Vlahovic, again, can be a target man, but wouldn't run the channels. Having Jackson as a Watkins backup or competition just means that Villa keep playing the same way. Keep playing the same way with the forward man. We don't have to adjust. We don't have to change. So I am not saying no to Nicolas Jackson if Ollie stays. I'm in fact saying yes, give me a bit of Nicolas Jackson. But Chelsea really think, that this is massive. But yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are. Where do you see his destination? Obviously, our biggest problem is Nicolas Jackson, I think, is going to be in this Garnacho swap deal. So there we go. There is some footage of this. And yeah, Jackson for me is splitting opinions. This came out yesterday. How true is this? How true is this, by the way? If this is the genuine fee, then what are we doing here? We may as well stop this story now. I didn't realise this was the rumoured fee. Chelsea value striker Nicolas Jackson at between 80 and 100 million. How ill in the head are they? By the way, 41 days to the transfer window happens, because this was yesterday. 41 days till the transfer window closes. If he was to leave, the 79 million Liverpool paying for Hugo Ekitike, including add-ons, would be used as a benchmark for any potential deal. That's scary. Basically, Liverpool are massively overpaying for Hugo Ekitike. Massively overpaying, by the way. Massively. And basically, Chelsea going, well, if Ekitike's that, then Jackson's got to be the same, right? Like, that's just scary, that. So they're saying Ekitike's worth 79, so Jackson's going to be the same, which is true. But you know what I'd say to that? If Jackson and Ekitike are 79, 80 mil, Ollie Watkins is 100 plus. Ollie Watkins is 100 plus, if we're going off that metric. So who in their right mind is going to pay that? But this is what it comes down to as well. Number 9s are absolutely the rarest of rarest breeds. So rare to find a number 9. And that's why they inflate their prices. I always find goalkeepers and number 9s are heavily overinflated. Find a good goalkeeper, pretty hard to do. Find a number 9 and put the ball in the back of the net, pretty hard to do. If you want one, pay the price. Fabrizio Romano apparently has put this about Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson open to a move to Manchester United, even without Champions League football. Of course he is. That's I wouldn't be surprised. I think that is the deal. What happens? But yeah, I think this is quite interesting here. I've just read this Chelsea fans comment. Do you agree with this? Maybe we're being overcritical, because I know what Duncan and someone else said. Obviously, Ollie Watkins' XG on big chances is poor, but they're saying that Jackson is interesting. Look, this is a Chelsea fan. Nicolas Jackson's rep is absolutely terrible, and I feel like we, the Chelsea supporters, need to start sticking up for him. The reality is, Nico's underlying metrics and GA in his first 2 seasons in the Premier League are better than your favourite strikers on the market. I now reading that a second time. That's a Chelsea fan trying to convince himself that if Arsenal and Benjamin Sesko and Gyökeres and Hugo Ekitike, if people are paying all this price for these guys, who are getting overhyped massively, then Chelsea fans should start overhyping Nicolas Jackson. So there we go. And again, there's a big comparison here between Rasmus Højlund and Jackson. Ultimately, Man United are, although, again, here's another report. Man United are upgrading on Nicolas Jackson. Man United are upgrading on Rasmus Højlund if they sign Nicolas Jackson. Would we agree or disagree on that one, chat? Man United would be seriously upgrading on Rasmus Højlund if they sign Nicolas Jackson. For me, Villa aren't, and that's where the issue is. We're not upgrading. We're not upgrading, but United are. So again, in recent days, this is 2 hours ago. In recent days, Man United have been approached with the opportunity to open talks with Nicolas Jackson. At the moment, they're not proceeding with any official bid. I don't know if anyone else. I don't know if anyone else is getting the vibe that Man United are looking to do business at the end of this window for as much cheap discount as possible. I feel like that's what we're getting with Man United, which is crazy. If so, but let's see how that one pans out. So, listen, we're going to see something on that one, but yeah, Nicolas Jackson for me. I'm not sure on this one. What about this Chelsea player, though? This one came up there. What about this Chelsea player? Big up to comments. Let's read some of the comments, actually. Conan Mwani is a great shout. Jan Visa as well. Why are we not going for him? That would be a great player. And we do need speed. Emery's system wants ball carrying and so forth. All the attacking players we're linked with are them. That's very true. Anyone apart from Calvert-Lewin, awful. My issue with Ollie is I think he's reached his peak, and the only way is more than likely down. I'll be pleasantly surprised if Ollie levels go up. Yeah. Brainy Bryan's not happy with the Jackson fee. Jackson's wages are too high. Good backup striker, market value too high, and a 45 is about right. Yeah, 30, 45, 8 million is nonsense. Kolo Muani. Let's have a look at some of his rumours then, because Randall Kolo Muani, yeah, the way PSG are ranking up and playing up, that could be one, isn't it? That actually we should look at. See if there's any rumours. Jackson be open to a move to anywhere that will play him and pay his wages. Yeah, he's ousted at Chelsea, isn't he? Gentleman Jay says, I do believe there'll be a swap deal between for Rodgers and Jackson. I have Rodgers no chance. I've never been more sure in my life that Morgan Rodgers is not leaving Villa. Is everyone else in that camp? Like, we're not that stupid, are we? We're really not that stupid to let Morgan Rodgers go. If Chelsea end up going at gentlemen, yeah, I'm with you. Get the bucket ready. Hoyland's biggest problem is a terms of service. Poor comrade, are you telling me that Hoyland, you think's got potential? It's just the boys behind him. I don't see it with Rasmus. No to Jackson, and nobody wants him for a reason. All teams' big pockets preferred other strikers, including unproven ones over Jackson. That's true. They're willing to risk it all on someone like Seska or Ekatike. So there we go. Rod's untouchable, agree. If 100 million, we get better and more players. Exactly. There's better options than Jackson out there for that price. Rodgers cannot be allowed to go. Last player to sell. Exactly. It's not even will he go. He simply should be landlocked in. Like, no way can we lose him. No way can we lose him. So there we go. But yeah, let me know your thoughts then, chat, on this little story here. Again, sort of fits the Villa scouting network system in terms of we are looking for a wide player who can play in defence, as in a right back / a centre back. Trevor Chalobah. Chelsea are open to offers. Do we rate Trevor Chalobah? Obviously, he was a weird one. He got sent out on loan, then recalled, and then played, and he sort of come back into the fold. But I think Chelsea still don't rate him. But someone's put this: they probably want 200 million, knowing them. Yeah, they do overinflate their prices. Yeah, he can play in a back five or back three, however you want to say it, and he can play very versatile. So Trevor Chalobah, is that a player you would take? I beg for a link that isn't a Chelsea cast-off is true. Meeks can see it, so can I. Like Desarcy was a Chelsea cast-off, which is true. Yeah, no worries, Lee. Let me know what the score is if anything happens. Even for us, if we need to go for a striker, right, take a risk on a non-proven striker. In this area, why not get him in and get Leon Bailey the other way? But yeah, Chelsea rejects are not going down well, are they? At all. Standing has said this. I'm going to have a look at Kolo Muani links in a minute. I'm going to have a look at Kolo Muani. I'm fearful that all the teams around us will strengthen their teams around, but we won't strengthen. If we don't upgrade Matty Bailey and Dean positions this season, we'll have a problem. So, yeah, exactly. You got to be careful how you say that because some people don't want to hear it, but it's true. Disaster class is anything to go by. No, thank you. Big Dens or Bizak, that's the ones. I won't change my tune. Denzel Dumfries or Jan Bissett is the only defender I want to see. Again, I agree on this comment about Nkuku. Good, but we need goals in our side, and I don't think he's going to produce that. Right, let me have a look at these Kolo Muani links because, yeah, apparently that. Here's another piece. I know it's a little bit away from I know this is a little bit away from Villa news, but I just saw this story pop up earlier and I thought, oh my gosh, Sunderland are doing bits. Have you seen this? Granit Xhaka informs Bayer Leverkusen he only wants to join Sunderland. Granit Xhaka back to the Premier League, 32 years old. Granit Xhaka. That's an absolutely incredible transfer. Sunderland are doing such good business. Even people like Sunderland are making like massive inroads. And I'm a bit like, really? So let's have a look. Kolo Muani. What's the latest on him? What's the top stories in Kolo Muani? He was linked to Juve. That was it. He was linked to Juve. Although now, apparently, this was a little graphic I've just seen from Transfer Market. This is on Kolo Muani. Sunderland might actually stay up, I agree. Samu Boniface, has plenty of options. And I like Jan Visa is a quality addition, isn't he? Give us 35 million. You can have gone actually. No, thank you. I don't know how big I can make this. I don't know how it's this. Kolo Muani, 26. 30 million is the price going for him. Newcastle, Man United looking at him as a rumour. Kolo Muani. It's a strong one. It's a strong one. And again, I think he was. I think he is someone who, again, if he lands at the right club, he could cook. He really could cook. Newcastle, again, desperate for a 9. I think they've lost out on Hugo Ekitike. I think they're looking at that. Yeah, Kolo. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen this post, actually. This is brilliant. This is Eintracht Frankfurt's business. What else have we got in there? Who has ever said I would only be interested in going to Sunderland? Yeah, something you would never expect to hear. Yeah, a quote that's never been said in history. Harvey Elliott's died off. Every player we've been linked to has been died off. Visa brings out passion too. Love watching play. Ramos from PSG won't play much. We can take him on loan. Apparently, he's a penalty merchant in there as well. Muani to United when Hoyland leaves. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's an upgrade though. And Bakayoko still a top option. He's gone now, isn't he? He's gone to who did he end up going to? It's absolutely gone out of my mind. You want to see a club though who knows how to make business? Eintracht Frankfurt. Have a look at this. In 2017, they sold Sebastian Aller. Bought for 12 mil, sold for 50. Jovic, 23, sold for 63. Silva, bought for 3, sold for 23. Kolo Muani for 3, 95 mil on Kolo Muani's crazy business. Marmouche, 3, 80 million. And now Ekitike, bought for 17, sold for approximately 95. Total profit, 350 million. They absolutely know how to sign strikers and sell them. It's massive. That's absolutely massive, chat. That is a business and a half. And I don't know, do Eintracht Frankfurt still staying around European football? Like they're going to be very rich. Don't get me wrong, and they probably can use that money. But I do wonder, do they stay around European football, or are they just? Is it pointless? Is it a pointless club to keep selling if you're not actually going anywhere with it? So there we go. But chat, do keep smashing the like button for me. I would appreciate that. That would be greatly appreciated. And of course, yeah, let me know your thoughts on anything that we've discussed tonight. Maybe I should fix and sell players rather than cars. Well, exactly that, Meeks. Yeah, there's an industry and a business there. And we've done a little bit with Duran, with Moussa Diaby, with Dougie Luiz. We're good, but not Eintracht Frankfurt levels. But yeah, I guess then we'll be selling their stadium to themselves to fund their survival spend. They're going to have to, aren't they? But yeah, have a look at this then as well. As I said, Randall Kolo Muani. Again, not one I'm jumping for joy in, but it's a name, isn't it? It's a name that could carry. It's a name that I could be interested in. But yeah, it's again, have a look at it's not very good share. I'll try and share it like this because it's not very good when I put it on the graphic. These are some of the strikers' names. For, obviously on X, you can't zoom in sometimes. Let me try it, see if it works. You can a little bit. Okay. So these are basically the number 9s that are getting compared in world football right now, with Ollie Watkins being. This is a Man United account looking at available number 9s. In the chat, let me know, yes or no, each time I say a player, would you take them or not? Okay. Would you take this player at Aston Villa? Okay. Number 1, Benjamin Sesko. 22 years old, Benjamin Sesko. Are you taking him? Are you taking Benjamin Sesko? Yes or no? Personally, for me, I just think Sesko is going to struggle in the Premier League. I really do. I don't know why. Yes or no, Benjamin Sesko. Don't worry about price. Don't worry about the financial situation. Yes or no, would you take a Benjamin Sesko in this world? Obviously, don't need to say Watkins because he's ours. Obviously, the topic of today, Nicolas Jackson, just straight up. Again, this is with Ollie Watkins staying. I'm saying this with probably Ollie Watkins staying, but would you take Nicolas Jackson? Would you take Nicolas Jackson? If I said to you now, Jackson's coming to Villa, I don't even worry about the price. Just, is it a striker you like? Is it someone that excites you? There's more no's. See, this is the caliber of number 9s right now. It's really poor caliber. I'm interested to see the chat's next one on this one because I quite like this player. Jean-Philippe Mateta, 27 years old, so younger than Watkins, the Crystal Palace striker. Would you take Mateta? I would. I would take Mateta in a heartbeat. Villa couldn't sign a single player on that list. Even the one on that list Villa wants to leave is true. I would take Mateta in a heartbeat. Yeah, a lot of you are saying yes to Mateta. What about old Randall then? What about old Randall? Randall Kolo Muani, 26 years old. What are we thinking? Would yes or no to him? Got 3 left after Randall Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani, I'm going to put it out there. I'm a no to Kolo Muani. I'll take Mateta. I'm a no to Sesko and no to Kolo Muani. This is the next one. Forget his wages. Forget what he was. If he was available at a cut rate price, which Juve, by the way, are selling him for, it's all on the wages. Dusan Vlahovic, gimme. Yes to Dusan. I think he's a goal machine. I think this guy would be prolific. And he's just got that goal scoring ability. So I like Mateta. I like Dusan Vlahovic. Schick, no. Moise Kean, no, as well. I think Moise Kean's overhyped, right? Loving all the comments in there. Would you take Moise Kean? I'd be surprised if people say yes, but I'm interested. Is anyone going to take a bit of Moise Kean? Yes or no? 25. Ollie again is the oldest player on this list, or joint oldest. It's Watkins 29 and Schick 29. That's where we're at. What colour's Ollie? Ollie's pink. Let's go to this graph. Ollie's pink. Ollie's got the highest expected assists. What else does Ollie score well in? What else does Ollie score well in? Touches in the box, second highest. Who's orange? Vlahovic. So you look at Vlahovic. Lots of touches in the box. Ollie's second highest. Then from here, the colours are terrible. Then from here, Ariel, I want to know his conversion rate. Yeah. Ollie's conversion rate is behind 4 of those players on that list. Maybe even 5. Ollie's conversion rate is but only orange and green is below him, which is Jackson. Funny enough, Jackson's got a worse conversion rate than Ollie. And who was the other one? Orange conversion. These colours are terrible. What type of orange? There's 2 oranges. So either it's Vlahovic or Mateta. So Jackson's got a worse conversion rate than Ollie. Yeah, so it is their highest missed sitters. Yeah, and if the fee and wages are low, take Vlahovic. The fee is definitely low. It's the wages that are the issue. But yeah, Ollie scores pretty well, to be fair. Expected goals. What's he on expected goals? Yeah, he does well. Ollie Watkins statistically looks really good on those sort of graphs, those sort of things. So yeah, I can see why, again, Man United will be looking at him and going, do you know what? Let's have it. Let's have a bit of Ollie. But But yeah, very mixed, very split. Not quite sure what is going to happen, but it's not the highest caliber of strikers. We've been so used to such good caliber of strikers being on the market. I feel like this is one of the worst. I feel like this is one of the worst option pools for strikers. I really do. It's all about Vlahovic. Vlahovic was as in the lower one. But yeah, can't believe Cash is still at the club because there's no one to come and replace him at the moment. But yeah, so it's got to be 100 mil for Ollie then at least. That's the thing. The data, again, yeah. If Chelsea want to say that Nicolas Jackson's 80 to 100 mil, we could outprice Ollie. We just get those metrics and go, sorry, Hugo Ekitike and Nicolas Jackson are going for that 80. We think Ollie's worth 100. I think they want Cunha playing out wide, Duncan, or in the 10, from what I've heard, and maybe Bruno a little bit deeper. I did read a report about Cunha not playing as a 9 at all, either as a 10 or as a wide forward on that left-hand side or right-hand side. It'll be interesting. But wages are a massive issue, aren't they? Wages are a massive issue for our recruitment process right now. This is interesting from Rub P. If you want to take a chance on a striker that needs to be magnified, Kolo Muani, Emery will make him what Ekitike became at Frankfurt. So that's interesting. I think we would have got a really good tune out of Cunha. Would I take Duran back over Jackson? Oh, such a hard question. Duran's a firecracker. The only player I can compare Duran to is Mario Balotelli. That's the only thing I can compare him to. He's a Mario Balotelli. You don't know what you're going to get week in, week out. You don't know what destruction this guy could cause. The great finisher, Duran. There's still a lot to his game to add. I think we're going to see Duran's career plummet in the next few years. The bloke better cash in us. John Duran needs to cash in on as much money as possible, probably in the next few years. Is what I'm going to say. So yeah, you got to stay away from players like Duran now. But yeah, that's probably my thought. It's an interesting point there. Big up James Wood, who's in the house. Welcome him. But yeah, again, it's all quiet on the Western Front in terms of transfers for Aston Villa. It really is a tough situation. And let's go on to. I just saw that as well. The Brighton left back Pervis Estupiñán going to AC Milan. That's big. Let's have a look at some of the clips then on pictures. I mean, there's some good stuff going around. Louis Barry's actually done the business and gone to Sheffield United now. Hallelujah. But here's Matty Cash in all his prime. Matty Cash. He's counting the days. He's counting his lucky stars that he's still there. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Cashy boy. There's Boubacar. He's been around obviously from the start. And then you've got Morgs. Go on, Morgs. I love this. This guy's the man, isn't he? I love Morgan Rogers. Just pure focus. Pure athleticism, pure dedication. He's going to be awesome for the Villa. He really is. Old Morgan Rogers. I just think this is his season again. I think he's going to explode again this season. This is the one that got everyone happy. Look at Don Unai. He's actually got his colour coordinations. He's actually got his colour coordination a little better. He's not got a white hat on. He looked ridiculous in that preseason with that hat. Yeah, Jack Grealish. Those rumours have gone absolutely dead. Where's Grealish's club? Why is he finding it so hard? Yeah, Louis Barry's going to fall off. And unless Barry doesn't score like 10 goals in the Championship this season, he's going to be forgotten. Old Louis Barry. But there's Don Unai. Looks focused. He's got his Adidas hat on. He's got his Adidas trackie. He's got the clipboard. Bad image, but he's got his clipboard ready to do his tactics. I like this. Yeah, we all look at Yuri like this. John McGinn, loving a bit of Yuri. Again, massive player. Massive player, Yuri, for me. Massive in what he does. He's our most creative. best passing range. The fact that he stayed fit for most of the season is unbelievable. Mr. Reliable, you can't question Yuri Tillemans. I don't think there's ever someone out there. Remember when Leicester City fans tried to tell us that he was overrated, he was crap, and that he was overweight and all this? He's been nothing but quality for us, nothing but quality. And he had to wait for his time. He had to sit behind Dougie Luiz and Kamara. Remember, Yuri had to bide his time. Yeah, Jack, exactly that. James, he's probably gone 2 Ireland's parties. If you don't smash the like button, Matty Cash will haunt your dreams. That's something you don't want. That's something you really don't want. So there we go. And then here's Powell. I'm not sure on Powell. A bit of Luca Dean. Is he going? They've all gone quiet. And Bogard. Do you reckon Luca Dean? That one's all gone quiet as well, isn't it? On the Luca Dean front. Do you know what I mean? Many of times we've seen stories on that. John McGinn and Boubacar with Unai. Unai not happy. He's got his hands there. What else we got? Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see good intensity training, but I'd like to see him on the pitch. That's we're really not being spoilt with much. That's the sad state of affairs. Let's just have a look at. I am intrigued actually by putting Jack Grealish, what we get on the old social media of Jack Grealish rumours. I really would love to know. But like that, there's so many great clips of Jack Grealish of when he was at his prime at Villa and when he was flourishing at Man City, and how when Grealish looks on it, he looks good. Let's see. Let's see. There's actually nothing. People are comparing Grealish to Marcus Rashford, saying that Grealish gets lauded for all his activities, and then Rashford still gets hounded. Kevin De Bruyne being biggest Jack Grealish fan. Jack Grealish being, here we go. Let's have a look. So this is one of the main reasons why he joined Man City. It's just shown here. Kevin De Bruyne being biggest Jack Grealish fan. Jack Grealish being the biggest Kevin De Bruyne fan. So there's Kev at Napoli. And then what you've got here, let's just have a quick look at it, is Grealish put, one of the reasons I joined City is to play alongside you, brother. The best I've ever had the pleasure of playing with, for sure. And Grealish really enjoyed that. Ironically, there's 2 photos of Grealish partying with beers in hand, and then 2 on the football pitch, and that's where Grealish loses his credibility, isn't it? That alcohol in his hands is just what puts people off him, and they see that style of someone who's not football first. But Grealish has got to realise it's a World Cup year. We still need a bit of Grealish there, but apparently this is Grealish. He's obviously training alone, and this has come out of pictures of Jack Grealish training alone because he's not involved with City at all. And yeah, he's looking to get into the shape of his life. He looks so much more mature again, doesn't he? He looks like he's a lot more grown up, a lot more mature. Maybe this has humbled him. The exodus of Man City, the way that Pep just cast him aside, said, don't even bother coming to us at the Club World Cup. Do you know what I mean? Not one person. Yeah, I don't know. But there's no links. There's absolutely no links of Jack Grealish at all. I'm still scrolling. Madness. Just pictures of him basically topless because he's worked out. So yeah, maybe he'll go to Napoli. Who knows? But where is Grealish going to end up? I've said this, and I'm standing by this. I know. I've just got this feeling. Jack Grealish to Aston Villa on loan, really near the end of the window when it's all gone tits up. When we had a really poor transfer window, I'm expecting the Grealish to Villa announced on loan, and they think that will help him out. If we go for it, but I think Cash would be worth keeping. Oh, Meeks. He's great when he's allowed to attack. Well, on that right wing back side, I reckon he won't have a clue how to play it either. Remember how good Paul Gascoigne was drinking? Was then drinking has actually cost him from an even greater career. Exactly. There's a lot of players who held back by that. I think they're BS disciples. The Malik Fofana rumours of BS, real BS, in fact, on that sense. But yeah, Jackson is probably the only concrete thing again today. As I said, we've had Garnacho and Jackson. That's what we're fishing around at the moment. We're really struggling for rumours and anything of fruition out there, and it's not great, is it? It really isn't great. So, I think you have some Jack in that mug. He ain't coming back. Honestly, I honestly, genuinely, hand on heart, believe that Villa are going to have to pull out some magic rabbit out the hat vibe near the end of the window, because I think it's going to be that stale. I really do. But yeah, so we'll see. We will see. We will see. I better get with the program. Back the boys you got, Josh. I know. Same man. I get that. I get that. Well, it's the only way we're going to have to. We do all our business quietly. Rumors only break. The thing is, we haven't really had a quiet transfer since Danny Ings. That's how I feel. I don't think we've ever replicated the Danny Ings moment ever since. It's impossible to do a quiet transfer in this day and age. Someone's always leaking. Someone's always doing their thing. So there we go. But big up my guy Lee as well. I know he's had a tough time. He's just coming to the super chat. Lee Collison. Always one of our own, mate. So appreciate you being in there. Hopefully it's cheered you up a little bit being in the stream. I hope you are better than the England game. But yeah, chat. I am obviously going to bounce in a minute, but what I am going to try and do is redirect you to the Villa Park podcast. I asked Rich earlier. He's done it. Rich has learned how to do it. So this will be good. So we are going to redirect to the Villa Park podcast because he's on now at 9:30. Okay. Want to redirect, literally just put in AVFTS raid. Put that in Rich's chat so he knows that his redirect worked. That would be good for him to know that his redirect actually worked. Because yeah, I've been telling him to do this for weeks and weeks because he usually has his show on after me. He's usually a 9:30. I'm a 8:30. He's a 9:30, and it's always good to help out other Villa fans. So I have told him to get your redirect on. But yeah, let's do that then. So really enjoying the live chats and the varying opinions about fighting. Exactly. We're not a one-way show. There's some people who completely disagree with me in the chat. And there's some people who agree with me. And yeah, I just don't. I try not to put on the claret and blue tinted glasses. I just try and put on the glasses of truth. And I'll stand by it. Nicolas Jackson is a downgrade to Ollie Watkins if he came in as just the sole one. But give me Jackson in a pair with Watkins, and you've got me. Yeah, you've got me there. So, guys, I'm going to redirect to Rich. Put AVFTS raid in the chat. And let's see if his redirect is working. Thank you, everyone, again, for giving up your time this evening. I know there's not been much to talk about. We've nearly dragged it out for an hour again. But Villa are really making my life difficult. This is getting harder and harder. I think I was just so for content, and we just tuned in for exactly that. No DIY talk today, but I'm sure there will be tomorrow. No DIY stuff today, unfortunately, Meeks. But guys, go raid Rich. AVFTS raid. I'm out of here. Ta